Listo.
Have you ever stopped to think about the power that an image has? You open Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and there they are. Professional bodybuilding athletes with bodies that seem to have been sculpted by an artist. Defined muscles, perfect proportions, impressive poses. And it's impossible not to look and feel that desire to be like that too. This is normal. Are you feeling connected to this story? To the journey of then? Then help keep this project alive with one simple action. Subscribe to the channel. More than 94.8% of the people who watch these videos still aren't subscribed. Maybe you're one of them. So take a second, tap the subscribe button, and be part of this community. It's free, and that way you'll keep receiving powerful stories like this one from the athletes and legends who marked an era and continue inspiring millions around the world. This is human. Seeking inspiration to improve your own body is not wrong at all. The problem starts when this inspiration transforms into obsession, and obsession into desperation for immediate results. And if you're enjoying this content, help the channel with your subscription. Most people who watch are still not subscribed to the channel. If you're part of that group, take this chance to subscribe for free now and continue receiving important content that can make a difference in your life. The reality is that thousands of young people around the world are living through a dangerous situation at this exact moment. They start with the best of intentions. They want to be stronger. They want more confidence. They want to improve their self-esteem. So they join a gym, start training, adjust their diet. But then frustration comes. After a few months, progress is slow. The body doesn't change at the speed they'd like. And every time they open social media, they see those monumental bodies, those incredible 3-month transformations, those surreal before and after photos. And their mind starts making unfair comparisons. Why am I not growing like that? What am I doing wrong? Could it be that I don't have good genetics? And that's when emotions start speaking louder than reason. What many don't understand is that there's an abyss between what you see on social media and the reality behind it. These professional athletes who serve as inspiration didn't reach that level just with training and diet. And this isn't a secret to anyone inside the bodybuilding world. The problem is that this information doesn't reach beginners in an honest way. On social media, everyone posts the final result, but nobody shows what was necessary to get there. Nobody talks about the constant medical monitoring, the frequent blood tests, the team of professionals involved, the extremely high costs, and especially the health risks being taken even with all that support. And what happens to the average young person? They see that, get inspired, want the same result, but don't have the same structure. They don't have a medical team monitoring them. They don't have the means to do monthly exams. They don't have a nutritionist calculating each meal. They don't have a physical trainer adjusting each workout. And especially, they don't have the maturity and knowledge necessary to understand the risks involved. So they start researching on their own. They enter forums, Telegram groups, social media communities. And there they find an entire universe of conflicting information, dangerous, often completely wrong. Everyone giving opinions, everyone thinking they're an expert, but nobody with real qualifications to guide on something so serious. And there's another extremely dangerous factor, which is normalization. When you enter these environments, it seems like everyone is doing the same thing. It seems normal, safe, just another step in the process of building your body. People share experiences, give tips, talk about dosages, about combinations, about where to buy. And all of this with frightening naturalness, as if they were talking about protein supplements. This creates a false sense of security. If so many people are doing it and saying everything's fine, then it must be safe, right? Wrong. Completely wrong. The human body is an extremely complex machine. There's a delicate hormonal system that controls practically everything in our organism. Growth, metabolism, mood, sleep, appetite, libido, everything is regulated by hormones. When you introduce external synthetic hormones without medical supervision, you're messing with a system that took millions of years of evolution to develop, and the consequences can be devastating. The body goes into imbalance. It detects that there's excess hormone coming from outside and starts shutting down natural production. And when this happens, you've created a dependency. The body stops producing on its own and becomes dependent on what comes from outside, and side effects start appearing in ways nobody imagined. The skin that should be healthy becomes covered with severe acne, scars that won't disappear anymore. The cardiovascular system that should be strong starts suffering. Blood pressure rises, the heart works overloaded. The liver that should be processing only what's natural starts being bombarded with substances it wasn't made to process in large quantities. The psychological state that should be balanced starts oscillating violently. Extreme irritability, rage explosions, drastic mood swings. And there are effects that directly affect appearance and masculinity: development of breast tissue, atrophy of reproductive organs, aggressive and premature baldness. And worst of all is that many of these effects are irreversible. It's no use stopping and thinking everything will go back to normal. There's damage that stays forever. There are young people at 25 who have already developed problems that 60-year-old people would normally have. Heart with signs of premature wear, liver with permanent changes, hormonal system that will never work naturally again, needing hormone replacement for the rest of their life. And there's the aesthetic side too, which is ironic because the person started wanting to look better and ends up with permanent deformations. Gynecomastia that can only be fixed with surgery. Acne scars all over the body. Baldness that can't be reversed. Enlarged internal organs causing that characteristic abdominal distension that makes the person look sick. And there's the psychological side, which is perhaps the most worrying of all. Many young people develop a mental dependence on these compounds. They get used to that body, that appearance, the attention they receive. And when they need to stop, whether due to health problems or awareness of the risks, they enter deep depression. They see their body lose volume, lose definition, and this directly affects their self-esteem, which was completely connected to that artificial image. There are cases of people who enter depression so severe they need psychiatric follow-up, admission to specialized clinics, prolonged treatment. And all of this at 23, 25, 27 years of age. And the great tragedy in all this is that none of it was necessary. Building a strong, healthy, aesthetically pleasing body is totally possible naturally. Yes, it takes more time. It takes years of consistent training, adequate nutrition, appropriate rest. But it's sustainable, it's healthy. You build a body that will last, that will serve you well throughout life. You won't have the body of a Mr. Olympia who's using massive doses of multiple substances with an entire medical team monitoring. But you'll have a strong, functional, beautiful body, and most importantly, you'll have health. You'll be able to enjoy this body for decades, not just for a few years before it starts failing. The big problem with current culture is that it sells the illusion that you can have everything fast, without real effort, without patience. But reality is that there's no real shortcut. What exists is a risky trade. You gain muscle mass quickly, but lose health. You gain temporary admiration, but can lose years of life. You gain confidence based on an artificial image, but can develop psychological dependency. And when you do this math honestly, you realize the cost is too high. And there's a crucial detail that many people ignore. These professional athletes who serve as inspiration, many of them regret the choices they made. Many speak openly about the health problems they developed, about their regrets, about how they would do things differently if they could go back. Many have to deal with consequences for the rest of their lives. And they did this in a professional context, with medical support, making money from it. Now imagine doing the same thing without any of that, just out of vanity, just to look like someone you saw on the internet. The message here isn't to discourage anyone from training, from seeking a better body, from being inspired by athletes. The message is for you to understand the complete context before making decisions that can change your life forever. If you want an impressive body, work for it the right way. Hire a real physical educator, not some guy at the gym who says he knows. Seek a qualified nutritionist, not internet recipes. Get regular exams to monitor your health. Have patience with the process. Understand that building a body takes years, not months. And especially, question everything you see on social media. Those bodies you admire, ask yourself, what was the real price paid to get there? And if you're already using something, if you've already taken that step without proper supervision, seek medical help immediately. Look for an endocrinologist, get complete exams, see what has already been affected in your body. Don't wait for symptoms to become severe. Don't ignore the signs your body is giving. And especially, don't be ashamed to seek help. Your health is more important than any muscle, than any Instagram photo, than any compliment you might receive. Are you feeling connected to this story, to the journey of? Then help keep this project alive with one simple action: subscribe to the channel. More than 94.8% of the people who watch these videos still aren't subscribed. Maybe you're one of them. So take a second, tap the subscribe button, and be part of this community. It's free, and that way, you'll keep receiving powerful stories like this one from the athletes and legends who marked an era and continue inspiring millions around the world. The choice is yours, always has been and always will be. But make this choice with real information, not with emotion. Make this choice thinking about who you want to be 10, 20, 30 years from now. Because having a beautiful body at 25 isn't worth anything if you don't have health to enjoy life at 40. Think about it. Choose wisely. Your life and your health depend on these decisions you're making now.